right now. The combination of severe weather, technology glitches, and that smoke that I mentioned has been keeping some flights from taking off on time. This is a preview of what might be happening as we approach the busy holiday weekend. Many airlines struggling to keep up. More passengers want to fly. AAA projects more than 57 million Americans will travel this Independence Day, setting a new record, and 4.17 million, that's to be very specific, will fly to their destinations. That's more than 10% more than last year. And if your flight gets delayed or canceled, experts say it is very good to know your rights and to keep calm because everybody's stressed out right now. Here to share some advice on how to navigate all of this is Captain Laura Einsetler. She's a commercial airline pilot with over 3 decades of experience, a friend to our show. It's always good to see you, Captain. You know, I just took a flight this week. On both the departing and arriving flights, our plane was waiting without pilots. We kept on getting text messages saying our pilots, unfortunately, are on another plane that hasn't arrived yet. Is this because of all of those things that I mentioned, or are there staffing shortages still? Is this just more traffic with more people wanting to fly? What is it?
It's a combination of so many factors right now. So we're still playing kind of cleanup after COVID. And now with different weather, the Canadian smoke, shortages across the industry, but we're really playing catch up. So we're almost there. We just need everyone a little bit patient and well prepared.
We are just getting new numbers in that now more than 2,000 flights have been delayed or impacted. That's still a relatively low number, especially when we've seen some of the more catastrophic delays, widespread delays across the country. But in terms of people trying to get out of town for the busy 4th of July holiday next week, when's the best time to fly? I mean, clearly there are going to be a lot of people flying on Friday and maybe even Saturday early morning.
Yes, so I always tell everyone, if you possibly can, take the first flight in the morning, because a lot of times that way you have the airplane there, the crew is there, there's a lot less weather factors involved, and so you're much less likely to have any sort of delays or cancellations that way.
I'm going to ask you something that maybe I might take advantage of as well. I'm sure people at home can understand. If you do face a delay, especially if it's just a constant, one of our team was stuck on the tarmac the other day for 6 hours trying to get out of LaGuardia. Just absolutely frustrating. Do you get a refund? Do you contact the airline? Who do you ask for to try to get some type of credit back after being inconvenienced?
So I also tell everyone the first thing you want to do is immediately call your airline. It's always better, even if you're on the flight and you get information or you're at the gate area, get on that phone, call your airline, find out what the options are. In some cases, the airlines are responsible to refund you or rebook you. It depends if it's the airline's fault or if it's weather delays. And in that case, you just want to see what your options are. Maybe you can fly on a flight later that day, maybe the next morning, and just go to a local airport hotel and relax until then.
Yeah, and sometimes they give you a voucher for that hotel, but it may or may not work depending on the property that you select. I want you to peel back the curtain a little bit for us. How much is this Canadian wildfire situation affecting flights? I mean, realistically.
It's just like I said, it's a combination. So it does play a factor in lower visibility. So sometimes that can really delay the whole airspace system. So, you know, we're working with air traffic control. They're trying to get as many of us in those tight airspace spaces, especially in the Northeast, as we can to just be as efficient as we can.
Yeah, well, efficiency is something we all want. One more question for you. In terms of what's to come, is there any promising news on the horizon for pilots, for the unions to negotiate whether it's better conditions or to make sure that we have more pilots available, they're recruiting enough to actually be able to fly into next year?
Yes, we're almost there. So we're just ramping up. We've been hiring more and more people, and it just takes time to train the newer generation that's coming up into the pilot ranks and across the board. So we're getting there. We're almost there. So just be patient. Should see everything really soon.
Okay. So, everything is a very broad term, but Captain Einsetler, we're going to have you back on to explain what everything means, because we want everything.
Okay, we'll give it to you, Adrienne.
All right, deal. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.